Hi, I'm Machismo Eugene, another video from Exit Strategy. Today's title is You Won't Believe This About Yourself, but You Should. You won't believe this about yourself, but you should. You won't believe that you are the apple of God's eye, but you should. You won't believe that the things you have been labeled by the narcissist as being are not true. In part, not as a whole, in part. What I mean by that is you will embrace some of what they label you as, but not all of what they label you as. And so you take a lot of what they identify you as a person, you take a lot of that and embrace it, because as a human being with a healthy perception of yourself, you tend to go within yourself, which is called introspect. You go within yourself and you start thinking projectively and objectively, or subjectively and objectively, excuse me. And so you scrutinize yourself a little more than the average person. And that is an ability that a lot of people don't have. And the person that tends to run away from introspecting more than just to sit down with themselves, a lot of times they will allow other people to intervene into their business and their private matters and to help them solve themselves. And that's not really always the approach to take when you're having a problem with this or that person. I would understand it like this: I need to get alone by myself, me and God, take inventory of the things that I've done or contribute to the situation being what it is. What parts did I play in that? And then from that point on, I can understand whether I need to allow another person into this matter for advice or consultation or direction. But that's what we normally do. We either do it purposely, go looking for other people to give us an antidote or an answer to the problems that they didn't cause, or problem that they are not involved in, thinking that whatever they say we should do it. And we don't really give ourselves a time enough to say, okay, this is a matter between this person and me. I don't know all the answers, but I need to get by myself so I can think. That's not always the approach to take, but to me that would be the first approach to take, in order to understand that the things you won't believe, but you should. Because in no time or not, you're going to understand that the things that this person, be it the narcissist, has said about you, they have seen the good in you and they've dumbed it down. They distorted it. They distorted it in a way where not only it was not true, but they distorted it in a way where they knew that you would buy into it. Let me say that so you can clearly understand. They have mastered the art of being able to distort the truth with falsehood and give it back to you and have you believe it, in part or wholeheartedly. And this happens over time. It doesn't happen overnight. They work on you. They work on you from the onset, from the time that they open their mouth They work on you. And that's why it's so hard for you or I, once we're out of it, or we're coming out of it, or we awaken, there are so many moving parts with regards to, now you have to assess everything that in your mind you invested with them emotionally and mentally and all kind of other ways was real on your part, but was deceptive on their part. I told my daughter this morning, I say, Chloe, imagine someone having a surprise for you. They put you on a little boat or a little raft, and they blindfold you. All of them are on the boat when they blindfold you. And they say, we have a surprise for you. And a few minutes go by, maybe a minute, 60 seconds, or maybe even a few minutes. And they're talking to you the whole time. And you're saying, when are you guys going to show me the surprise? And say, we're almost ready, just hang in there. And then all of a sudden, you may or may not hear somebody say, hey, you can take the blindfold off. You can take the blindfold off now. You played along the whole time. Genuinely. You take the blindfold off. When you look around, you can hear crickets. You can hear frogs. You look around, 180 degree, there's no one. You're on that boat out in the middle of nowhere with no one in sight. This is the epitome of what a narcissist does to a person's life. They've isolated you from family. They've isolated you from all of the friends, your genuine friends. I mean, with some of us, they're not successful to do that. My case, I was never isolated because I'm more of a, I don't want to say hermit. I stay to myself as far as my home. I rarely have company. I know what's on the other side of that. For the fact that I know genuine friends are hard to come by. And these are kind of the things that I adopted in my life before I even was aware of narcissism. I was always apprehensive and guarded my privacy. Just never needed friends like that. But when I go out and about, being that I do what I do in my personal business, a lot of people do know me by my first name and stuff like that, and they're acquainted with me and they speak to me and whatnot. Plus the energy that I possess. And this is what I'm talking about. You won't believe this about yourself, but you should. I understand what I possess, the abilities I possess. In all humility, I understand that what's been given to me and the things that I possess are a gift. And because they are a gift, I'm trying to be a wise individual as I administer my gifts to the world. The things that I give off, I don't want to be hasty about it. Some people don't deserve your energy. Some people don't appreciate your energy. This is just a fact. So back to what I'm saying. You're out there. Let me show you on my television. That's interesting that I talk about that. And it's just abyss, just the abyss. There's no human existence in this picture. Imagine you're in that submarine. Actually, I see the little cat. There is something in there. That's interesting. That's you and me, the empath. The narcissist has left us out without a paddle. But take heart. Okay, sorry. Over there. Look what's coming. He's almost to shore. Hope I don't get copyright infringements for this. You know, there's a refuge right there. That's the hope that we have to have. The hope that we have to have. There's a refuge on the horizon. So, as I said, you won't believe this about yourself, but you should. All the things that you have once thought were the reasons why you kept getting into bad relationships, or relationships were so toxic that you couldn't even be friends with the person once the relationship was over. Not because you didn't want to be cordial, just because they detested your very existence. And now we now know these narcissists, they don't detest your existence as far as needing your fuel. They detest your existence because of the things you possess. And it's a double-edged sword with them, because they detest the very thing that they're in pursuing. They pursue you for. The things they pursue you for are the things that they detest about you. Isn't that weird? The very things that they hate about you, they like about you. How conflicted is that? So there is just so many things going on, you know. And I'm gonna do a video about rap, the rap or music in general, but specifically rap. And I've said this before, the ops and all of this crazy making stuff that society has just dumbed down to be acceptable and okay. And it all just, it boils down to the narcissist has front row seat on this roller coaster. And everyone behind this narcissist in the roller coaster are envious that they don't have the front seat. Be thankful you don't have the front seat, because in a collision, the back seat is the safest place to be. That being said, bless.